surrender all. And I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. And I surrender all. And I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. Surrender is one of the most important things we can actually do as believers. Why is that? Well, let's first look at Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Instead, in all of your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight." So surrender is very important, because when we surrender and relinquish control to God, he, firstly, straightens our path. And when we relinquish control, we let go of our own human understanding, and we let God, with his infinite understanding of our situation, take control of our lives. And that is way better than us just controlling everything. But it's really easy to say. It's easy to say surrender, but it's difficult to do surrender. It's easy to sing I surrender, but it's harder to actually surrender. Why is that? Because as humans, we naturally have the tendency to want to control everything. That's the first reason we struggle to surrender. Secondly, we fear surrender. We fear that God, for some reason, doesn't know what's best for us, and we actually know better. Even though that's not true, that's what we choose to believe at times. And thirdly, because we're afraid of vulnerability. When you surrender to God, you're vulnerable because you don't know what's going to happen next. It's God's will, not your will anymore. And those are the main reasons why we don't surrender. But this is a bad thing. Why? Because when you take everything upon yourself, everything becomes heavier. You start to stress more, you panic, you're concerned about everything, you try to control everything with the limited understanding and wisdom that you have as a human being. And so you're heavy. You can barely pray at times because you just want to control every single situation. But here's an alternative. And we see this in Matthew 11 verse 28. It says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." What is Jesus saying here? He's saying, surrender to me. Surrender all that heavy baggage you have, and I will give you something you don't have. That is peace. When we actually surrender to God and choose to trust that he's good and that he's wiser than us and that he's actually God who can make anything happen, we have a peace that we cannot actually explain. And that's what I believe the light yoke is about, having peace and joy because we surrender to God. And so today, let's just focus on that. Let's focus on surrendering to God. Let's not just sing it. Let's do it. Amen.